we're going to continue with the French regular infinitive verb endings, and this time with IR. Last week we did ER. This week we're going to do the verb endings in which infinitive end in IR. So we need to write your date and then the lesson objective, the yellow, which is to know the verb endings of regular IR verbs. In French, the verb changes to matches the person you are talking about, just like it changes in English. The verb, which is the underlined part, changes according to the pronoun or the subject. So this is why you have I am, you are, he or she is, we are, you are, they are. This is easy. No. With regular IR ending verbs, so these verbs end in IR in the infinitive form of the verb. This is the verb, the form of the verb that you will find in the dictionary. This is the to-do form, to-be form, to listen that we spoke about before. Examples of verbs ending in IR in the infinitive form is finir, to finish, nourrir, to feed, choisir, to choose. All these IR ending verbs follow the same pattern for their ending. So this is the good news. Once you know this table, you will know that all of them end exactly the same. So first of all, you must see the infinitive of the verb, which is the form you will find in the dictionary, and then you must look at the ending. If it ends in IR, you must apply this rule. So when you have a verb in the infinitive form, we spoke of this before, you must take the stem, which is the green part of, if you compare it to a flower, which will be the green part of the flower. That doesn't change, it stays always the same. And you must end the ending, which are the parts in red. And in this flower, it also is in red. It is the petals. The petals may die, the petals may change in size, they may be blown by the wind, so these change all the time. And this is why we have this rule. So for finir, if I'm looking for the stem, which is the green part, I will simply remove the IR. So I'm left with fin, and then I will add all these endings for each pronoun. For je, this is the singular part. For je, you will have the ending IS. For tu is the same. For il, elle, and on, they all end in IET. This is the singular part. Now remember, in S we spoke of the fact that we do not pronounce the S and the T's. Basically the consonants are not pronounced at the end of the verb, so they will all be pronounced exactly with the same ending, I. Je, the stem of the verb, and I for the singular. For the plural part, which is nous, vous, il, elle, so nous is we, vous is you for plural or for the polite form, il is they for boys or boys and girls, and elle is they but for girls only. And this is changing quite a lot. And so nous, you must add I double S O N S at the end. For vous, you must add I double S E Z. For il and elle, you must add the same form, I double S E N T. The other thing I wanted to say is that the reason why we must have a double S in order to make the sound is on and not ison is because we have two vowels. So in between two vowels, if there's only one S, that sound will pronounce as a Z. However, this is why you must put two S to make it sound like an S, not like a Z, because you have I, which is a vowel, and O, which is a vowel. Now, if practically, if I'm looking at finir, which means to finish, I must apply the same little rule, which I have put there, for each pronoun. Remember, the pronouns are je, which means I, tu, which means you, singular, il, he, she, elle, she, on, one or someone, nous, we, you, vous for plural or for the polite form. Il, elle means simply they in English. Remember that elle is they for girls only. And you must apply so for each pronoun or subject, just this ending. So remember, we keep the stem which is the form of the infinitive without the IR. So you keep the stem doesn't change, it's always, in this case, INS for finir, and then you simply add the correct endings for each example. As you can see, finish, I finish, you finish, he or she, one finishes. It also has a slight change in English. However, in French it changes, well, almost for every different pronoun. So there's a lot more changes in French. Okay. Now, if we follow this rule, if we try to complete the missing forms of both these verbs, to nourrir, to feed, and choisir, to choose. So the first thing I must do is find the stem of the verb, nourrir. So in order to find the stem, I know this is an IR verb, it's an infinitive. I will simply remove the IR from it and I will keep the NOUR, okay, the form without the IR. And then I will apply the endings which are here. So for je, tu and tu is the same, IS, je nourris, tu nourris. Remember, we do not pronounce the S. For il, elle is nourri, but this you must have a T, which is silent. And then for the plural side, we must simply add the correct endings, which I will carry over depending on each pronoun. So for each pronoun, I have IO and S. For vous, I have EI, double S, EZ. For il and elle, I have I, double S, E, and T. And this was just a reminder how to remove, to find your stem, you just must remove the IR. About choisir, which is to choose. So again, I will look at removing the IR in order to find the stem. So the stem is choix, and then I will supply those endings. So je choisis, tu choisis, il, elle choisit, nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils, elles choisissent. And I have simply removed the IR in order to get the stem. This is what one must remember.